Hello there and welcome to the Bonofo channel where we go back in history to learn from the past, understand the events that are happening now, and try to look forward into the future. Some say that many of Israel's Mossad operations are similar to action movies seen in the theaters, because of the crazy and unbelievable things they accomplish. In this video, we will show how the Mossad infiltrated Iranian security and managed to disrupt and expose the Iranian nuclear program that the West and more so Israel are trying to take down by any means possible, including assassinations of Iranian scientists. And for those of you who are wondering where all this happened, it literally took place in Iranian territory. Although this operation took place in 2018, it actually began in 1993 when Israeli intelligence first received information that Iran had planned to manufacture the materials necessary to build a nuclear weapon. After the Iranian Revolution in the late 70s, the government was determined to build its military and offensive capabilities, hoping to gain the ability to attack the West, Saudi Arabia, and Israel. For decades, Israel has kept a close eye on the actions of Iran, as the government in Tehran repeatedly mentioned statements such as "Death to Israel," and has been supplying anti-Israeli groups in the Middle East. What makes Iran so scary to the West and Israel is that unlike groups such as Hamas, which does not possess an advanced or big military, Iran is a big country with many resources which help in being self-reliant, an advanced military with technological capabilities such as hackers and drones, and Iran has its own language and history. In 2002, using satellites and Mossad intelligence information, Israel found out that Iran is building its nuclear weapon in a remote city. Iran, which tried to be secretive, built an underground structure which was covered by huge layers of soil and cement to prevent an aerial attack on its project. Israel wanted to tell the world but feared that other nations would simply call it a biased opinion, so it gave it out to an Iranian opposition group which disclosed it in 2002 at a Washington press conference. This was a calculated move by Israel, since the news outlets were shocked and the West was alarmed. The Israeli Mossad knew that they had to take matters into their own hands, and were happy to know that the International Atomic Energy Agency investigated the information, and was shocked to find that the Iranians indeed started a nuclear power facility without their approval. Iran, now exposed, realized that it needed a new plan, so it told the international community that it will start a new project under the supervision of the International Atomic Energy Agency, but it had the same scientists and government officials working, which did not bother the West, but very much bothered the Mossad that was still suspicious. It is very well known that one of Israel's advantages over its enemies is the information it gets through the Mossad. But unlike neighboring countries such as Syria and Egypt, which are in Israel's reach for drone and missile attacks, Iran is very far and heavily guarded. These factors combined forced Israel to come up with an unbelievable covert operation that would make any movie director dream to have it as a show. Initially, Israel planned to use foreign countries to launch an aerial attack, but the United States opposed any direct military strike, so it didn't allow Israel to buy bunker-breaking bombs called Mother of All Bombs, or Moab for short. The Moab is only made by the United States, and is designed to penetrate through deep underground facilities, such as the one in Iran. Led by Mayor Dagon, the Mossad came up with a new plan called the Five Fronts. One was limiting the resources Iran needs to build nuclear weapons. Second was supporting opposition groups to force a change in the Iranian government. Third was economic pressure such as sanctions. Fourth was putting political pressure on Iran. And last was conducting operations to stop Iran. This was pretty successful, as building a nuclear weapon requires many parts from around the world, and by using the first four stages, Israel used various resources such as its cyber unit called 8200, which, together with the American NSA, hacked the Iranian nuclear facility multiple times by convincing one of the Iranians to insert a USB stick that contained a virus, and was able to delay Iran and give more time to plan the final stage, which was an operation that Israel did not want to do unless they had to. The operation of developing a virus and getting it in the Iranian nuclear facility was called Operation Stuxnet, and caused a huge delay of years, because the Iranians never thought such a thing would happen. It was so powerful that it spread to other innocent companies, even reaching Germany. Although cyber warfare was effective, Israel's Mossad most effective tool was targeted assassinations. In this case, it was the nuclear scientists. There are multiple reasons why they chose this tactic. One was to delay the project because it is not easy to simply find and replace a nuclear scientist, and it intimidated other scientists and facility workers by letting them know that they can reach and quote-unquote delete them. Another reason is that by killing those highly educated nuclear scientists, the Mossad prevented them from teaching other students on how to become nuclear scientists, which will make it harder for Iran in the future. To carry out these missions, the Mossad did not like to risk Israeli spies, so they managed to recruit an Iranian national who was willing to do the task, which takes a lot of persuasion and secrecy. Usually the Iranian recruited was part of an opposition group that did not like the government in Iran. One of the targets was a scientist called Mossad Ali Mohammadi. After recruiting an Iranian national and studying the scientist's daily habits and behavior, the Mossad implanted a bomb beside his car which was near his house, and boom! A large crowd surrounded his car and realized that he was no longer alive. Mossad Ali Mohammadi was not the only one, and multiple other scientists such as Dr. Majid Shahriari and Mustafa Ahmadi Roshan were assassinated using Iranian nationals who would ride their motorcycles and stick a bomb to their targets' cars. The Mossad did not only assassinate scientists, but also the head of Iranian ballistic missile project called Hassan Tehrani Moghadam, and more than a dozen of his soldiers, by setting his building on fire using a bomb. Although these actions by the Mossad slowed down Iran's nuclear project, the Iranians were still able to make progress. In retaliation to these assassinations, the Iranians also increased their supply of weapons and money to Hezbollah, Hamas, and other anti-Israel groups. Israel's Mossad was not done and planned to execute one of the riskiest covert operations ever done in history. In the next episode on the BanoFO channel, we will discuss the second part of the story where the Mossad goes even deeper and sends its own Israeli nationals to enter Iran and steal highly classified and secretive Iranian information, which Israel used to expose the Iranian regime to the entire world and humiliate Iranian security. This has been BanoFO, and please remember to like, share, and subscribe.